the systems view of life is really a term I created quite a while ago in the late 70s, early 80s in my book, The Turning Point, which was published in 1982. And there I have a section called The Systems View of Life as a sort of global term for the new view of life that is emerging now in the paradigm shift from a mechanistic view of the world to a holistic, as I called it then, or ecological view, which I now call the systems view, or already then called the systems view. And I call it the systems view because it is a view of life that critically involves systemic thinking or systems thinking, which means thinking in terms of relationships, in terms of patterns, in terms of context. So what I have observed over the last 30 years or so is a very dramatic change in our worldview in science, not only in science, but I approach it from the point of view of a scientist. And at the deepest level, we are seeing a very profound change of metaphors from seeing the world as a machine to understanding it as a network. And there are many other aspects that are involved. To just give you a few examples, starting from the material world, science is now recognizing that the material world is not some kind of a machine made of isolated building blocks, but rather an inseparable network of patterns of relationships. That was actually my entry into this thinking as a physicist working in subatomic physics and then being very interested in the philosophy of quantum physics and relativity theory. And I explored this in my first book, The Tao of Physics. Now, in addition, in the meantime, we have also come to recognize that the planet as a whole is a living system, a self-regulating, self-organizing system. The human body is no longer seen as a machine, nor is the mind as a separate entity, but rather we realize that not only the brain, but also the immune system, the bodily organs, actually every single cell is a living cognitive system. Then evolution is no longer seen as a competitive struggle for existence, but rather as a cooperative dance in which creativity and the continual emergence of novelty are the driving forces. And then, of course, we have had complexity theory in the last 20 years or 30 years, which emphasizes patterns of organization, complexity, networks, and so on. And with that new approach to science, a new science of qualities is now slowly emerging. So these are some of the aspects of this systems view of life. And in my book of this title, co-authored with a friend who is an Italian biologist, Pierluigi Luisi, we go into all the details in a 500-page book.